Hello, YouTube world. Thanks for checking in the Khaliis take. Now, today's take, we'll be talking about why the Brooklyn Nets look so dominant. Now, before we get into the video, please like, subscribe, leave any comments. Also, hit the notification bell for any future content. And please check out my prior video because I think you'll find some of the content to be intriguing. And leave any comments on those videos as well. Now, let's just jump right into it. The Brooklyn Nets are a dominant team because of games like last night. They play a team like the Phoenix Suns last night who are at full strength. You got Devin Booker, you got DeAndre Ayton, then you got Chris Paul. They just had James Harden on the Brooklyn Nets. They didn't have Kyrie, who sat out for back soreness, and they didn't have Kevin Durant with his injuries. So with that being said, there's really no way the Phoenix Suns should have lost that game. Now, I will say this, the Brooklyn Nets, they do have firepower everywhere. And I think that one of the unsung heroes from the Brooklyn Nets would have to be probably Jeff Green. Jeff Green's been playing really good. Jeff Green has been really, on point for them. He's been definitely an unsung hero because he hits those, he gets those points that they need to either sustain leads that they already have, or if they're down by several points, he scores those points that they need to come back while KD or Kyrie or one of them are resting on the bench. Now, James Harden, I have to say, if I had to rate the best player out of all three of them so far since they've been together, which is Kyrie, KD, and James Harden, I might have to put James Harden has been playing the best out of all three of them since they united as a group, because James Harden can not only pass the ball, as you see, like last night, he has 38 and 11, and the team just looks pretty good, with him running the offense. He's definitely the point guard. So when Kyrie made that accusation or say that he's the point guard, Kyrie is definitely right about that. James Harden's the point guard, no doubt about it. And I love the fact that he's actually sacrificed a lot of his scoring to be the point guard and facilitate the ball the way that he has, because it's making the team so much more deadly, because we know James Harden can drop 50, 60 points anytime he wants to. So now mentally he's thinking, let me step back and let everybody else score, and I just feed off of their energy, because we know whenever I want to, I can go out and drop 50, 60 points and the defense can't do anything about it. And then on top of that, if he goes out and drops 50 or 60 points, now the defense has to sit back and wonder. You have to focus on him, but you're leaving the other two superstars one-on-one coverage or by themselves. And that's just really not exactly a recipe for beating this team. So, but when you look at this team constructed and why I think they're so dominant, you look at Joe Harris scoring 22 points, like I said, Jeff Green scoring 18, even Tyler Johnson is playing really good, with this team. And I like the addition of him along with this team as well. So they have other pieces that can go out there and put points on the board. And like I said, Tyler Johnson is not a great defender, but he will try to play defense. And Jeff Green is a decent defender. And, it just comes with the territory. And then, like I said, James Harden plays defense at times as well. So, and KD's not a bad defender either. So they have some good pieces. I think a trade on their end, maybe for like Andre Drummond, maybe not even a trade now since Andre Drummond's been bought out by the team. But I think with Andre Drummond, somebody like that, they could really make them even more formidable, because like I said before in my prior videos that you might want to check out, the Jared Allen loss is pretty big, because now they don't have a defender in the paint that can actually stop anything other teams are doing. This is the reason why they have to literally outscore everybody, because they don't have no stopper in the paint. They don't have no shot blocker. But with that being said, I think they're looking really more dominant when you look at games last night, because two of their best superstars in most people's eyes are not even playing. And the Phoenix Suns have an 8-point lead with 2 minutes and change left to go in the game, and they can't secure that lead with one superstar and a bunch of role players. So that tells me their team is an offensive juggernaut, and they're going to be something to be reckoned with in the playoffs. So anybody that's in the Eastern Conference, anybody that's on the Western Conference, I hope everybody was watching that game last night, because you really saw how dominant this team could be. They're without two superstars, two of their best, and they still put up massive points. And I think the score was ended up being 128, 124. They still put up massive points without them, and they still won the game, and they was on the road. So it's like, when you look at that, it's like, man, how are you really going to beat this team 7 times in a 7-game series if it comes down to that? But at the same time, Like I said, I definitely want to see them, build more camaraderie amongst each other between all three of the big three. Because if they do, I think the NBA is pretty much, it definitely needs to watch out, because these three players right here can literally shoot anybody off the floor and score with the best of them. So I definitely want to see how they are by playoff time. But as I said, right now it's constructed. I mean, the way they look right now, even without their other two superstars, James Harden is really making this team go. And I think he's really been the engine to this team so far. And he definitely, what he's doing definitely shouldn't go unnoticed. And it definitely should be on notice that the Brooklyn Nets should be the one to make it to the finals and possibly even win it. Now, my personal opinion, I've said on my other videos as well, they'll either play the Lakers or the Clippers in the finals. That's just my opinion. And if that happens, then like I said, we're talking about fireworks, because you have to go against LeBron and AD when they're healthy. It's really going to be tough to play against the Lakers with the pieces that they have, because they all play collectively together well, and LeBron feeds off of the energy of his other players, and he would definitely be hyped up again playing against KD again. Then on top of that, if they play the Clippers in the finals, well, you're playing against Kawhi, the Claw, somebody who can actually defend Kevin Durant a little, not much, but he can bother Kevin Durant some, to where it'll alter some of their scoring, and it'll allow the Clippers to win. But of course, that's also based upon how PG plays too. The good thing about the Clippers is, like I said, the additional pieces they got with the likes of Batum and Ibaka, they're definitely going to help their cause. And if they get a point guard made with the likes of possibly Kyle Lowry, we're talking about the Toronto Raptors 2.0 again. So what I'm saying is, to play either one of them teams in the finals, it would be tough for the Nets, but I definitely think the Nets have a great enough team to win, of course. So we'll see exactly how the season goes. We'll see exactly, how it breaks down as far as the season goes and everything. But right now, I have to say the Nets have been so dominant. The Nets have been really good. And like I said, against the teams that are figured to be the better teams, or the teams over 500, so far here lately in the last 10 games or so, the Nets are like 9-1 against the really good teams. So it's like they show up when they need to, and they play better against better competition. So with that being said, I definitely can't wait to see them going forward. I think they play the Lakers tonight or tomorrow, so we definitely can't wait to see that, even though AD won't be there. But still, I still think it'll be a fireworks type game, and I still think it'll come down to the wire. So that's it, and that's all for me. So leave any comments in the comment section if you choose to. And hey, till next time.